This is Rob Marchant from Clive Emerson, Land and Property Auctioneers, and we're in Station Road at Wootton Bridge to look at the Brannons, which is the property directly ahead of us. Originally built as a single detached family dwelling. The Wight annex on the right-hand side, single storey, has obviously been added at a later time. And the building is at present arranged as 5 letting units. There are 4 flats in the main red brick building and a 5th unit, which is a small bungalow in the bit on the right hand side. We've got a large plot with this one. It's around half an acre, so plenty of garden space at the rear. Scope to continue with this for its income producing potential, although there is some upgrading and work required to the building to do that. Alternatively, of course, subject to vacant possession, there may well be the opportunity to consider site redevelopment, subject to all the required consents being obtainable to do so. Good location here. Wootton Bridge is a popular spot, and for those of you that know you're at Wootton, we're just up the way from the Woodman's Arms, which is the local pub. So let's head across the road and have a look at the property from closer in. So here we are with a slightly closer view. The original detached red brick building, which has had this annex added at some stage. Would have been a splendid single family dwelling at one time, but 5 very useful flats in its current guise. We do have keys for the 2 ground floor units in the original building, which are flats 1 and 2. So let's head over and have a look at the internal accommodation in those 2 units. So as we move inside number 1, straight into the main living room. Evidence there of when this was a single dwelling in the dim and distant past. And as we move on through the central lobby come hallway, which has got a cloakroom on one side and the shower room situated on the other. And then as we move through, we've got the kitchen, and then finally at the rear we've got the bedroom. Which in turn looks out over the garden, which looks to be allocated to this flat at present. And obviously that is situated to the rear. So that completes our internal tour of number 1. And next we'll head next door and have a look at what flat 2 the Brannons has got to offer. And so moving on to flat 2, the entrance lobby. Electrics here for what looks to be all 5 flats. And then as we move on through, access into flat 2, I think this may have been the entrance hall for the original house back in the day. The back of the blocked off doorway that we looked at in flat 1 earlier in the video. Storage covered off the hall, looking back towards the front door. Nice big living room. Have a look in the front of the property. View out over the side elevation. Glass there which goes through to the kitchen, complete with serving hatch, something you don't see too many of these days. So as we work our way back through to the other side of the glass, we've got the kitchen. In turn leads through to shower room. Cloakroom tucked away at the end. So as we work our way through, we've got 2 bedrooms, starting the slightly smaller one. Although fair to say, I think they're both decent sizes, certainly good doubles by today's standards. View out over the garden to the rear. And then finally, this slightly larger bedroom. In fact, in reality, square footage wise, I'm not sure there's too much in it size wise. They're both a reasonable size. Both got access out into the garden at the back. So that concludes our tour of flat number 2, which is the second of the empty units. As mentioned in the introduction, flats 3, 4 and 5 are all let at present. And so we don't have access to those, unfortunately, for today's video. So there we are in summary. That's the internal accommodation of flats 1 and 2. 3, 4 and 5 we don't have access to today. Those currently let and obviously occupied. Anyone visiting the site, please take due care not to disturb the tenants. As mentioned in the introduction, very good addition to an income producing letting portfolio, or potentially perhaps site redevelopment, subject to all the required consents being obtainable. So this is the Brannons at 118 Station Road in Wootton, available in the next Clive Empson online land and property auction.